An emergency service district is different than a municipal government. There are several things that create differences there. The main thing to understand is that, and that I understand, is it's a political entity of the state. It's a grassroots movement that's begun in a county, and it's set up on local tax valuations. So you can tax up to 10 cents on 100 for property valuation and can't go beyond that. You have a board of directors or board of commissioners, that you can have 5 on the board that actually govern that body and govern the emergency services that they cover, whether it be fire and or EMS. It is a little bit different than a community doing municipal government in that, for me as a fire chief, when I deal with my town council, normally I deal with my town manager. That's my boss. If I need HR, if I need to go to human resources for a reason, I go to the HR director. If I need to go to corporate communications or a PIO, I go to that area as well. In ESD, I'm that person. I'm the town manager. I'm responsible for the budget. I'm responsible for HR. I'm responsible for corporate communications and outreach. All of those entities, everything that you do within a fire department, unless I delegate those. But ultimately, I am the link in between myself and the Board of Commissioners on the ESD. Now, they're elected 2 terms just like council members are. The difference is with that property valuation where you can go up to 10 cents on $100. If you have a $150,000 home, then a homeowner is paying $150 a year in taxation for those services, or $1,250 a month, however you want to break that down. And as the population grows within that ESD, then it broadens the scope of your budget. And as you increase the needs and the services that you provide to the citizens, you work within that scope. For me, it's really no different, and it's kind of similar in a way, because in Trophy Club I had a unique opportunity to not only deal with a town council but also dealt with the MUD. So we had the Municipal Utility District number 1 in Trophy Club. They budgeted and covered the fire side of my budget. On the town side, the town of Trophy Club handles the EMS side, so it's split 50-50, and I deal with 2 boards independently. So I'm dealing with town council, town manager, all of those political entities on one side, but I'm also dealing with the MUD directors on the other side. So ESD, we have commissioners, MUD board, we call them directors, but it operates very similarly, and it's also based on that local taxation in a sense. So it's all about providing the need, showing the data, and having them understand that you have a great understanding of the budget, working the budget and the confines with that. Now, also through that, the SAFE-D, SAFED site, everybody's familiar with that in ESD, but that's a great resource for information and ESD 101. I've actually done a lot of research myself already on that site to learn as much as I can. I also have some very close friends of mine that are chiefs for ESDs in and around this area, as well as down around Austin, who have been a tremendous support for me in helping educate me on the ESD concept. But looking at that, I feel 100% comfortable and confident that I can come in and lead and handle that end of it and deal with the ESD board with no problems whatsoever. My education, my experience has led me to be put in a position where I can handle that with no problem. I really have focused my entire career, spinning off into the next part of this question for this video is what my education has done for me, what I've done from a certification standpoint. Excuse me. I feel like I hold virtually every certification you can hold in my position. I've been to the Executive Fire Officer at the National Fire Academy. That's a tremendous resource to be able to network with other fire chiefs from all across not only the country, but the world. We had one from Brazil, one in Australia in my class, and it's a wealth of knowledge that you gain, not only from the education that you get there, but it's really from that networking and building those rapport with those chiefs. Because when you get to the fire chief level, you can't just turn to anybody and ask for advice or, hey, have you seen this before? You have to have people that can reach out to, that can give you that professional and friendly insight that can help you make those right decisions. And going to the EFO it was a wonderful experience, 4-year experience for me, and it provided those contacts for me. With SIPSI being a chief fire officer, going through the Texas Fire Chiefs Association Academy, Chief Academy, I've done all those. I've been through the TEKS at the Mays Business School at Texas A&M, which was probably the best of all of them, to be honest, because it's taught by the Mays professionals, the professors from the Mays Business School that teach you their concepts that are not taught by fire service professionals, which you can learn a lot from fire service professionals, but being able to sit in front of professors from the Mays Business School, talk about budget, talk about all of those things that go into leading and running a business from their perspective. It's very liberating. It's very educational. I really did get a lot out of that concept. I'm really big on succession planning, and I really always want to talk to my personnel about bettering themselves every day. What can you do, not only from a certification standpoint, but from an education standpoint? Getting yourself in a position where you may not think you want to achieve a certain level, but put yourself in a position where if that opportunity does arrive, you can jump on it. And I was able to do that because I had good mentors leading me in that direction. I had my education. I had gone through, back in '91 when I graduated and got my bachelor's in biology. A lot of that had to do with the fact that I was an athlete in college, and I played football and ran track, and I was focused on that, but also had goals of what I wanted to do with my career at that point. Then it turned through some personal influences that I had with some really good friends of mine that put me into the fire service, and I never looked back. But through that, I continue to learn and achieve, and I've never stopped that because that's my mindset. I have a go, go, go mentality, and that's just how I am. But I also push that in others. I try to cultivate that because we're always learning, and if you ever become complacent, then you're going backwards. And that's not my mindset. When I got to Trophy Club as fire chief, the town manager at the time, Steve Norwood, allowed me to begin, even though I hadn't had a year within the city yet, he allowed me to go ahead and begin my education for my master's on the tuition reimbursement program. And in a short period of time, I achieved my master's in organizational leadership, which I'm very passionate about leadership. It's just something that through being a quarterback for 18 years, being a firefighter for years, working my way up through the process, refereeing college football all the way up to the SEC level, and the things that I experienced there, that you talk about conflict resolution. I learned a lot being an SEC and Big 12 football referee and dealing with those $1 million coaches on the sideline and having to be the calm in the storm. I think that prepared me to be a chief as much as anything I've ever done, to be quite honest. But those life experiences, the certifications, I have all the paper. I have those certifications I've been through, but it's the experiences of going through those certifications. It's the people you meet obtaining those certifications. It's the lifelong connections that you make, that you have people that you can rely on, call them at night when you're having an issue, and know that you can get that advice that you need to be better. So with all that being said, I'm very confident that I can lead an ESD. I'm very confident that I can be the right type of leader for Denton County and take them to the next level. And I'm also very confident with my background, it feeds perfectly into this. And knowing that I live here, we've lived here since 1991, and we just love the area. I really do think I'm a perfect fit for Denton County ESD 1, and I can't wait to have the opportunity to sit in front of you and share my vision. Thank you.